This week on The Digital Coffee, Apple are at it again with their privacy controls that get in the way of our marketing. Probably not a bad thing though. WhatsApp have launched something they're calling channels, and Reddit have backed down a little bit on their massive API charge for accessibility. All that and more after this. Good morning, and welcome to The Digital Coffee. This is your weekly dose of digital marketing and social media news for small business. My name is Amanda Webb. I am grasping a coffee cup because this is our time of day to sit down together or stand up together and have a nice cup of tea or a nice cup of coffee and talk about the latest in digital marketing news and how that might affect your business. Who am I? Well, as I said, I'm Amanda Webb. I am a digital marketing ROI trainer, consultant, and mentor. What does that mean? That just sounds like nonsense. Well, actually, what I do is I help businesses just like yours to get more return on investment, more profit from the time, the energy, and the money that you are spending on your marketing. But enough about me. Little secret, this is actually yesterday. I had to record this in advance because I happen to be on the road right now, but I would still like to know what's in your mug. I'd like to know what tippage, that's not the right word, what tipple you're enjoying with me today. I have had several cups of tea, cups of coffee and Coca-Cola, and hopefully that doesn't mean I am going to talk too fast today. If you haven't already signed up for Analytics Day, what is Analytics Day? I'm looking for my little QR code, which of course I can't find. You wouldn't believe this is a pre-record, would you? I don't even know if that's it. Yes, that's it. I was hiding behind my QR code. Analytics Day is a free online conference on the 29th of June, where you will be able to celebrate the move over to Google Analytics 4 by learning how to measure your marketing. We're not just talking about Google Analytics, so you might go, Google Analytics. No, not just Google Analytics. We're talking about email marketing measurement. We're talking about TikTok. We're talking about short form video. We're talking about GDPR, and we're talking about LinkedIn, and we're looking at the Looker Studio dashboard. So do sign up for that. I'd love to see you there. Absolutely free. Absolutely free. I'd love to see you there. But that's not what you're here for, is it? No, you want to know about the news, so I better pick that up and have a look at what we're going to talk about today.
Hi, I'm Carol Phillips from Laguna Beach, California, and I'm here watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Hi!
You may know that I am completely obsessed with UTM tracking links. And if you don't, well, you do now. And if you don't know what a UTM tracking link is, it's basically a link to maybe a page on your website that you have added some stuff at the end of. So maybe you've added like telling Google Analytics basically, what campaign you were running or where you were posting this link. It's really, really useful information to have. And when I read this piece of news from Apple, I thought they were going to get rid of tracking links, but that's thankfully not the case. But they are doing something to links. So now within Safari, within Mail, within various Apple products, when you post a link that has a tracking link on it, that contains personal information. So that's, for example, if you run email marketing, maybe you pass on your customer ID with your email link so that you can see what they do when they arrive on your website. Well, not anymore, because Apple are going to remove that in their latest privacy move. Now, this is kind of annoying because that is really handy to see how a customer moves through your virtual properties online. But I suppose when you think about it, it's a good thing. We know personally identifiable information is covered by GDPR, but I think, it's very handy for marketers, and we got so used to all these tools and these ways of spying on people, and they are incredibly useful. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love them. But there is going to be a future where this shouldn't be happening. And I think a lot of people are going to feel more comfortable that this isn't happening anymore. So not good news for marketers, but maybe good news for human beings.
I'm Esther.
And I'm Melanie.
From the Monday Morning Marketing Podcast.
And you're watching The Digital Coffee
with Amanda Webb.
There are things that we have traditionally used Twitter for in the past, or businesses have. So things like, if you want to look and see if there's an accident on a road, so you know how long it's going to take you to get to work or to a specific location, you might look on Twitter. Or whether the roadworks in town are actually finished, because that's what's going on here right now. We've got loads of roadworks in town. Or what time is the match on? These are things I look for. What time is the match on in Dublin? Not because I want to go to the match, because again, traffic. It's going to be a pain to get to Dublin. So those are the sort of things, or, when you may be having a problem with a service, you go to Twitter and find out, and maybe their customer service deals with it. But as Twitter is in decline, because I haven't forgotten about it, since Elon Musk's time, a lot of businesses are moving away from Twitter. One, because it's becoming expensive to use. If you're an organization, it costs you $1,000 a month to get verified. And secondly, because they feel maybe they're not reaching as many people as they used to through the platform. Maybe this is why WhatsApp has come up with channels. And what channels do is basically they are broadcast only. So you will subscribe to a channel of your interests. So maybe, roadworks in town or town news or the news in a thigh or something like that. And that will keep you updated with information. But when I saw the screenshot of this, it wasn't just for those public service announcements. There were kind of brands and businesses that were going to be using it, maybe attached to a specific topic, like one of them was sports, for example, some sort of sports. So these are going to be very similar to broadcast channels that we know are out there on Instagram and Facebook to some users. I know I'm subscribed to a few of those and I'm already finding them very annoying. Still, could be a good way for your business to communicate if it doesn't get broken by marketers. And as we know, it probably will.
Hello, this is Nicole from Wonderstars and you are watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
There is no doubt that working with creators and influencers is a really effective way to build your business, to build your marketing. It's a good way to get an audience. It's a good way to build trust with their audience. It's a really good way to convert to sales. But if you want to find creators and influencers, you're very often going to be limited to the famous ones, the ones that you follow, the ones that most people follow, or you're going to have to rifle through like agencies to just find the people you want. But TikTok want to make it easier. And I think this is because TikTok is the place where working with creators seems to be taking off at the moment. Getting a creator to create videos for you is so much better than creating them themselves. So they are creating something called open applications. You're going to find this within the Ads Manager, and you'll be able to, as a business, say, look, I'm running this sort of campaign and I want creators to apply for the job to be a creator on this campaign. And then you get to filter them and look at them and choose people you want to work with. Now, I think this is great because it means you're actually going to be able to find those micro and those macro creators and influencers, the ones that don't get listed on agencies, the ones that are just starting out. And there's probably some really great talent there. And sometimes working with the micro and macro influencers is a better way to reach people than the larger audience, the influencers with a larger audience who are promoting things day or night. I'm excited to see how this works, but all in all, I think it's a good thing.
Hi, Sasha Lydia from Think Outside the Bot, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
When you advertise on social networks, you're actually not just advertising on social networks. Well, not in most cases, because, the likes of Facebook or YouTube, or maybe not YouTube, the likes of Facebook have something they call an audience network. And an audience network is a selection of sites and apps that they have partnered with that have agreed to show their ads. So you're still reaching their audience, but you're reaching them on other sites, just in case they don't log into Facebook today. It can be a powerful way to make sure that you're constantly appearing in front of the people that you want to. And now LinkedIn is opening up its audience network. It's always been there, but now it's adding a new sort of ad. And this ad, when I heard this, I groaned. This ad is a pre-roll a pre-roll ad or a mid-roll ad in a video. Everyone groaned because everyone hates those, right? Everyone hates watching them. However, they're doing this. It's obviously not going to be on YouTube videos because that's where Google ads sit, unless they're doing a partnership with Google. Which might be interesting, but I doubt that's the case. So it will actually be websites or videos on people's websites, maybe hosted on other third-party tools. Now, as I said, very annoying these ads are, but they do completely interrupt the experience so that people are forced to see who you are. So if you make a good and entertaining video that is hyper-targeted on those sites for the people that you want to reach, it could be very effective for brand awareness, even for sales. Still, I don't want to see them. Do you? No, me neither.
This is Making Sang, first name Making, from the FOMO Creator, and you have been watching The Digital Coffee Show with Amanda Webb.
Last week, Reddit declared that they were going to charge, I have to look to believe it, $20 million per year for API access. And as you know, API is the part of Reddit in this case that connects third-party tools so that they are able to create tools based on Reddit, I guess, essentially. We first heard about charging for APIs from the famous, where did I put the bell? The famous Elon Musk, and now it seems Reddit is following suit. But they got into a little bit of hot water this week because even though, there's a big Reddit tool called Apollo that's had to close down because there's no way it's going to afford $20 million, but they got into trouble with accessibility tools because obviously if you're using a screen reader or something, you're probably going to want to be able to offer like the Reddit through a screen reader or something like that. Now, we're going beyond my technical ability. So if you're sitting there going, she doesn't know what you're talking about, you're absolutely right. I don't. But a lot of people in the blind Reddit community, for example, were pressuring Reddit to not charge those accessibility tools, the API, and they have caved. They have said that they won't, not directly to the blind subreddit, but they have said that they won't, as long they're going to make an exemption for non-commercial tools that address accessibility needs. I have to say, I feel a little bit warmer about Reddit today than I did this time last week.
Hi, I'm Danielle from Redbow, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
According to Search Engine Journal, a whole bunch of their newsletters sent via MailChimp were going to spam. So they got in touch with MailChimp. They said, hey, MailChimp, what is going on here? And MailChimp said, yeah, I know. It's not just you. It's not just you. We're having words with Google over this. It appears that newsletters, now it's not quite clear if it's just MailChimp or if it's affecting a lot of newsletters, but apparently a lot of them are going into the spam folder in Gmail instead of going into promotions. I had a look myself. There are a number of newsletters in my spam folder, some of which are clearly MailChimp, some of which were undeclared. So it is a little bit worrying to think that this might be happening. If you have seen a dive in your open rates like Search Engine Journal had, this could be happening to you. And to be honest, there's not a lot you can do about it. I mean, you can not be spammy, but I doubt that's not why they're going in there in the first place. You can try, and when people do open your email, you can give them guidance on what they need to do to make sure your emails aren't marked as spam, but that means that they'd have to be getting them in the first place. This is going to be a hugely worrying update for people who, like me, rely on email marketing, because if everything's going to spam, that's not good for your email deliverability in general. This is a bad thing. Let's hope that there is actually a fix, because it seems, they're not getting far, MailChimp and Google working together. But let's hope soon that they just get bunged in the promotions tab if we don't want to see them instead. What do you think? Have you ever marked an email newsletter that you've subscribed for as spam? Because I wonder who does that. Who does that?
I'm Ant McGinley, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Twitter DMs, they're a bit spammy these days, aren't they? I mean, they were always a little bit spammy. You were always getting direct messages from people wanting you to share stuff or do stuff or whatever. But of late, since Elon Musk took over it, it seems It got way worse. In fact, it's got so bad that I don't really want to look at my Twitter DMs anymore. Very occasionally, there will be a nice direct message from somebody I know, but in general, spam, 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 spam. Well, Twitter think they have the solution. I'm not so sure, because now as part of Twitter Blue, you will be able to direct message people who don't follow you. Now, I know at the moment, most people have it set so people who don't follow you can direct message you, and that's kind of a nice thing. You get to communicate with people. But soon it could be just an option not to receive messages from people who don't follow you, but to send messages to people who don't follow you. Has that solved the problem of spam in my direct message box? To me, it just looks like, yeah, you can be a spammer as long as you pay Elon Musk. The show always seems to go fast when I'm pre-recording because I don't get to see all your lovely comments, but it has been fabulous to record this. The sun is streaming in the window. I've had to actually block it off because it is so sunny. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. I will be back to normal. She looks at her schedule. I should be back to normal next week. In the meantime, don't forget, will you come and sign up to the Analytics Day course. I was about to call it a course. You still make mistakes when you pre-record. I'd just like to say, don't forget to come along to the virtual summit. It's a free virtual summit called Analytics Day to celebrate the switch over to Google Analytics 4 and actually talk about some of the other things, the other networks that you can use to measure your digital marketing success. There's a great lineup of speakers. Got some new ones this week. So exciting. Go over, have a look, sign up. And with that in mind, I will be back. Same bat time, same bat place next week. Until then, bye-bye.